Getting me a glass of wine. I'll be right there. All right. Definitely wine 30 after the day I've had. I've been so busy. Hey, everybody. How are you? I think it's like 1 minute early or something like that, but I don't think it's that big of a deal. You know, I don't really, I'm going to have to work on the lighting in here. Maybe I just need to, like, redo everything. I do, actually. Well, not me. I'm not going to redo everything. So, hi, I am Tasha. And you are live from the Smoky Mountain Homestead. Notice something changed. We are doing this feed live from the Smoky Mountain Homestead page tonight instead of the, hi Julie, instead of the Simple Solutions Specialist page. So I had the Smoky Mountain Homestead page and I had the Simple Solutions page, and things were crossing over but not quite, and so I decided, because my theme is to keep things simple, to get rid of the Simple Solutions side of it and then just put everything under the Smoky Mountain Homestead, because it all eventually does fall under that anyways. So, yeah. So make sure that you go through and you find everything that is the Smoky Mountain Homestead. So YouTube channel, everything has been changed. Twitter, Pinterest, Instagram. The only thing that hasn't been changed is my LinkedIn, because I tried to change it and for some reason it didn't do it, and I got to go back and try to redo it. Everything else should be there. There's also a new blog, Smoky Mountain Homestead at WordPress. No, is it Smoky Mountain Homestead? It's on WordPress. So, .com. Yeah, and it made you choose one. There was like .org, .live, what, I'm like, okay, whatever, man. Smoky Mountain Homestead's good for me. It's hot in here. It's getting hot in here. I gotta turn on the fan. Man, it was nice today. The weather was so nice. I was able to put 2 loads of laundry out on the line. We don't have a dryer, so getting to do 2 loads of laundry at a time is quite a treat. And I actually did a 3rd load of laundry that's hanging over by the stove. Because I don't put those outside because it gets so windy up here that they just blow off, and I didn't want to have, honestly, this is the honest truth, I didn't want to have to walk all the way out to the line and hang them back up. Because the fence, if you ever come over, the fence is, like that part of the house is fenced off, but the drying line is on the other side of the fence. So I have to go out the deck, down the stairs, around, and then I get over there and hang up the laundry. So I decided I didn't want to do that, so I just hung it up in the house. And it'll be dry by morning. It's not a big deal. Yeah, so the Simple Solutions Specialist page will be going down on Friday. I'm in the middle of downloading everything from that site, all the videos, all the pictures. There's some pictures on there that I'm like, whatever. But everything that I want is being downloaded, and then I will take that page down on Friday. So everything will be happening here at the Smoky Mountain Homestead. Everything, all the things. So yeah, I'm pretty excited about that, because I'm like, I want to make things simple, and trying to spread. Felt like I was just spreading myself too thin and not being able to give 100% to either one. And homesteading is my passion. That's my, being self-sufficient and being able to share those ideas. That's what I love to do. So, and to me, homesteading goes right along with being sustainable and all that. It's hard to, some of the things are kind of difficult, when you have, we have the chickens, so you do buy feed for them, so it's a little bit of, it can get tricky, but you give and take. Nobody's perfect. Well, somebody's perfect. Probably my mother. Anyway, yeah, so we do the best we can. That's all you can do, is do the best you can. And then if you don't like what you did, do it different next time. That's basically it. So it is, let's see. Oh, and I was going to tell you about, we're going to be redoing the kitchen this summer. So all this ugly, I don't know if you can see it, the backsplash stuff back here, bleh, I can't stand that stuff. That's all going away. The microwave is going away. This over here, this section over here, I'm turning you. So these cabinets are coming out, and we're going to put in like open shelving right here and all this, and then we're going to put in new countertops. They're going to be all butcher block countertops. Yeah, we're going to change it, and the cabinets will be white. Oh, I'm going to love it. I'm so ready to have a different kitchen. I mean, I love this kitchen. I love how much space there is in here. In our old house, you could only fit like half of a person in there without it getting crowded. So this is great. We can all three be in here at once, and it's really nice. So we're going to be doing that. So tonight we're all about spring cleaning, and so I don't really spring clean, really, because I kind of do everything throughout the year so that I don't have to spring clean. But some things have to wait. Like I can't wash the dog blankets and hang them out on the line in the middle of winter because they get all stiffy. So some things do have to wait for spring. And so this is just some of the really easy stuff that I do to keep things clean. Although you can see that I don't do very well with keeping my copper very shiny. I've got a whole bunch of it up here. I'm going to tip you. See? That's all my copper, but I really actually suck at keeping it nice and shiny, you know, because I've got things I got to get done. And that's kind of like low on the totem pole, you know? So I'm going to move you down a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, we'll do that in a minute. So we'll do the easy ones first. So the first one is floor wipes. And, well, first of all, I'm going to tell you, these recipes that I use have essential oils in them, so I do not put them in like plastic containers to store them, because the essential oils will eat through the plastic eventually, and then you'd have a mess, and I don't want to have to deal with that. And we also try to stay away from plastic as much as possible. So I have these jars, just a little glass jar, super easy. So that's what I put mine in. And the other thing, so the first thing we're going to do is floor wipes, which we really need because, okay, so Chula, our little dog, is a really fluffy little dog. And she is constantly getting poop stuck on her fur around her butt. And so then she comes in, she's dragging her butt on through my kitchen floor. I'm like, that is just nasty. That is so gross. And so you have like these streaks you got to clean up. So, yeah, that's mostly what we use these for. So we don't use those very often, then those live in the pantry. So that's what we're going to do first. And I just use a big glass bowl. And so what I did is I kind of measure how many of these I'm going to be able to fit into my jar. Oh, let's talk about these things too. So these are just cut up old t-shirts that I got from my mother-in-law. And they're cotton. You want something that's like really absorbent. If you use, there's some other things that are like this is a pair of old jammies that I had. Look how cute these are. It's little frogs with martini glasses. They're cotton, but the fabric is really, it's gone so thin that I don't like it. So I don't think that would work very well. And then you have like old, like dishcloths, but they're so thick that they would take up a lot of space in your jar. So you don't want something so thick that it's going to do it. And then there's other shirts that are, I don't know if you can see this, but it's like a waffle pattern. It's kind of like rough, kind of. So, and these aren't super absorbent. So they wouldn't be very good for something like that. So you kind of want to go with something that's more, at least like an 80% cotton, something that's really absorbent. So, yeah, and I just kind of measure it, and it's usually, like, what I usually measure is like half of the height of my jar is usually what I can fit into the jar. You just guess, you know? It's not, like I said, not an exact science, thank goodness, because I wouldn't be doing it, right? It's wine 30. All right, Julie's got coffee. All right, so we're going to do a cup of water. Oh, I should have gotten my cup of water first. Hang on. So I've got a cup of water, and this is just out of the tap. I'm not using filtered or distilled or anything shamancy about that. And then a cup of vinegar. And this is just distilled white vinegar. And I don't know how to distill my own vinegar, so I do have to buy this. And then my essential oils, oops, sorry about that. So for this one I use rosemary and geranium. Geranium's a really, really, really strong oil, like strong smelling. So if a recipe tells me to put in like 10 drops, I'll do half of that. Because otherwise you wouldn't even be able, if I did 10 drops of the rosemary and 10 drops of geranium, all you'd really smell is geranium with a hint of rosemary. So I just do 10 drops of each, or no, 10 drops of rosemary. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Whoop. Oh, that smells so good. I also use that in my hair rinse. That stuff is awesome. And 5 drops of geranium. 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, see, it's strong, you guys. And then I just mix it up. La, 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 la. And then I just start putting my rags in there. These are just, so my mother-in-law had a whole big trash bag full of t-shirts of my father-in-law's that she was going to get rid of. And I'm like, hey, because she was just going to give them to the Goodwill. I'm like, can I have those? She goes, yeah, sure, whatever. So she let me have them. So I sat there and cut up all of them. Like yeah, see, these are already soaking it up, baby. Yeah, so I sat there and cut up all of those shirts. And we've got like 2 bins still downstairs of ones that we haven't even used yet. Yeah, see, so this is already soaking up lots and lots of it. And what you can do if you need to is, so you've got, hi Christy. So you've got your jar and put your rags in there, the ones that are already soaked up, put them in there. And then if you need to, make another mixture of the stuffy stuff and then pour that in on top. And then you're going to want your liquid to be in your jar, like just right at the line, so that when you pull one out, you can squeeze it out. Because that way you can just keep using that mixture over and over and over again, which is really, really cool. I mean, eventually you're going to have to make more, but so we're going to go ahead and stick this in here. Ooh, Esta Loud. Yeah, these are already soaky. And I just kind of shove them in there. I don't need to make them pretty. And these are the floor wipes, so these will last for quite a while. See, I do need to make another mixture because it sucked up all the stuff, so there's no stuff inside. So let me add it there, and then we'll make another batch. Water, H2O, agua, el vinagro. I don't know how to say vinegar in Spanish. El vinagro. That's what I do. I just add O to the end of everything, and I'm like, hey, Louise. I just add O to the end of everything, and I'm like, hey, it's Spanish. And we'll put some more of these. There was 10 drops of rosemary and 5 drops of geranium. I probably could have done with half of this, which is fine. It's all right. All right. Mixy. This is really, really difficult, you guys, as you can see. Hey, Jenna. And I'm just pouring this in. Oh, that's about right. That's good enough. Good enough for government work, right? And that's it. Those are the floor wipes. So a cup of water, a cup of vinegar, 10 drops of rosemary oil, and 5 drops of geranium oil, and that is it. And then I just stick them in the pantry and I use them when I need them. Super easy. I love easy. If anything's too complicated, I'm like, wah, wah, I don't want to do that. Hey, Cherie. Okay, so the next one that was the floor cleaner. So the next one we're going to make, I have to write these down because I always forget, is my kitchen counter wipes. So since I do a lot of cooking and everything, and I'm like one of those people that doesn't really follow the rules, and I put raw meat on my surfaces and stuff. I know I'm bad, Tasha. So I do need, like, I disinfect them like once or twice a day just to make sure, especially if I'm doing stuff like that. Like if I'm making beef jerky or something like that, I tend to do that a lot. So again, we got a cup of water. Man, I should have just brought a pitcher of water, huh? water. And so for this one, where is it? Castile soap. So this is actually a container that we keep reusing and reusing. Don't keep the cloths in the... I do. Yeah, I keep them all in the solution. They just sit there, and then when I need one, I just pull it out. We go through them quick enough where they don't get icky, you know? So, and it goes by fine. Oops, do you keep the... Yeah, yes, we do. Yes, the answer is yes. So I've had this container really probably since we left San Diego. But I just keep reusing it. It had body wash in it at one point, apparently. But now it's just Castile soap. When I buy Castile soap, we just put it in this, because I buy it in the big, the gallon, by the gallon. So, because it's cheaper that way. So that was a cup of water, and we're going to do an ounce of Castile soap, which is 2 tablespoons. So, do that. One. Yeah, so my countertops, I have to like wash them down just because, and you know what else? Okay, Jenna's going to laugh at this one. Well, not like she doesn't know. We totally spoil our dogs. And you guys, I do let them up on the counters. Because they're so freaking cute and they're so small. They like to be tall. They like to have a different view of things, you know? They like to be tall, so I let them up on the counter. I know Alan will come in here and go, "Why is a dog on the counter?" I'm like, because she likes to be tall. That's why. You know, because I'm short. I like to be tall when I can. I get up on a ladder. I'm like, oh, different view. Nosebleed. Okay, so, and then I use, especially for the counters, I do a teaspoon of the On Guard Concentrated Cleaner. This stuff is the bomb diggity, you guys. This stuff, they even use it in hospitals to kill MRSA. So this stuff is like, if it's going to kill MRSA, it's going to kill anything that I am being bad about and letting on my counters, like my dogs, you know, or like meat goo or something like that, you know. So that's a teaspoon of that. I love this stuff. I've had this stuff. We bought this when we very first got here, and I use it all the time, and that's still not even half gone, because you only need a little schnogger every single time, which I love. And then you can use any essential oil that you want. Did you use the floor wipe to mop, or do you use... So I'll talk about that in just a second. Let me finish this and then I'll tell you. I like the wild orange, but you could use, they even have On Guard oil, so you could use the On Guard oil too, but that's like double dipping, and there's no reason to waste if you don't need to, right? So I'm going to do 8 drops of this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You know what I should have done was just double this up, because I know I'm going to have to. I'll do that later though. Alright, so. Ooh, look, it's getting all sudsy. I don't know if you guys can see it. Sudsy. Now I just do the same thing with this one. These ones actually do live out on the counter most of the time. Sometimes I forget and I put them under the sink, and I'm like, where did my wipes go? I don't know where anything is anymore. I think I live here or something weird. So while I'm soaking these up, I'll tell you about the what was your question? Oh, when I mop the floor, so we have a Swiffer wet jet thingamabobber. I'm gonna actually make some more. Oh, well, I can't now. I gotta get these out of here. I'll do that later. We have a Swiffer wet jet, you know, with a reusable pad thingy. I love the reusable part of it, and it's awesome. But it has that little part on the front where it has the thing where you're supposed to, it has the solution where you do that bit. And I don't want to have to keep going and buying that thing, not only because it seems like a complete waste of money to keep buying solution when I know how to make my own. And the other thing is that it only comes in these little tiny things of plastic, and then you have to keep putting the plastic in the recycle. And the idea is actually to recycle less, not more, right? So, and if you don't understand that, you can go to my blog, and there's an article in there on that I wrote about that. What time is it? 7:17. So what I do, if Alan is home, because he can get that thing off of there, the little lid thing, and I know that if you turn it upside down and put the lid in some warm water or something, it's supposed to come off. It never does for me, so I just leave it on there. And this is my other all-purpose cleaner that I use for just like spraying stuff down real quick. This is 2 cups of hot water, a teaspoon of liquid soap or borax. I usually use Castile soap or the On Guard soap. And a teaspoon of vinegar or lemon juice to cut the grease. And then I'll just use this. So what I do is I take the Swiffer and I'm like using that, and I just spray this on the floor as I go. That's it. You know, if Alan isn't home. If he is home, I have him take the thing off and I make more and put it in there. But he's usually not home when I'm cleaning the floor, because then he'd be underfoot and I'd be like, get out of my kitchen. So that's that. Yeah, so these are the counter wipes. So that's it. That's all that is. And I'm just going to stick these in here. And I'm going to make another batch of that later and like cover them up with the liquid stuff, because that top piece isn't quite happy, but that's all right. I'm just going to stick these in here. Oh, wait a minute. There we go. That's it. And then when I do the other batch, I'll just add the rest of the rags and I'll just put those on top. And that's it. Those live on the counter. And I got to separate them because I'll forget which one is which. Because I do that. Did I use this bowl? I used this bowl? I think I did. All right, whatever. Okay. So the last thing, okay, that's the counter and that's the floor. Got to make a note to self. So the last thing I'm going to show you is, like I said, I really super duper suck at keeping up with keeping my copper clean, but once in a while I get a wild hair up my, and I'll go through and I like try to like clean it all, and I also usually get through like 2 or 3 pieces at a time, and then I'm like, I'm tired, I need a glass of wine. So this happens. All right, so this is all this basically is salt and lemon. You need something acidic. So Alan said that when he was in the Navy, they would use those, you know, those green scrubbies that people get, like it's a pot scrubber, when they would get really super, super soft after being used a long time. On the ship, they would go get those and use Tabasco sauce and use that to polish the brass on the ship. I was like, really? No way. That's kind of crazy. So you can either do fresh lemon, which I prefer, or just like lemon juice. This is just lemon juice. But I find that the fresh lemon works better. Although I have to say that when I lived in San Diego, I was so spoiled. My best friend lived across the street from me, and I would take my little basket over there, over to her lemon tree, and I would just pick like an entire basket full of lemons and go home and then I juice it. I mean, I loved that stuff. And now I have to freaking buy lemons, you guys. Yeah, they're like 50 cents a piece for a lemon in the store here. But you know what? I suck it up, Buttercup, because that's what I use. And I love lemon in my water in the morning, too. That's a great way to get your metabolism going. So you just cut this sucker in half. Does anybody remember these? My mom had one of these. I'll bet she still does, too. This is for sharpening your knife. You just roll it back and forth, and it works great. It works awesome. I like that it doesn't have, that it's all manual, and it's super easy to use. I don't want anything with too many parts, I want things to be as easy as possible. So I'm going to use this. Oh, you know what I'm going to do first is I'm going to roll it, because it'll help get more juice out of I think the camera's jiggling too, huh? Or is it me? I can't tell. Ooh, okay. So I just cut it in half. And then I've got, in this little dish, just, hey Teresa, I just have some salt. And this is just regular old, plain old salt. I'm not using my beautiful pink Himalayan salt, or my sea salt, or my kosher salt, or any of that. This is just plain old salt. And this is basically all I really buy this stuff for. Hey, Bria! This is like this is really the only time I use salt. I do have some non-iodized salt that we use for curing meats, but other than that, oh, you know what? I need a little stir. You know, my hands are all sticky from that lemon. So then I just stir it up until I make a paste. Do you remember, did you guys ever see fried green tomatoes when they were in the kitchen? And she was trying to teach her to cook, and they're making a paste, and they're having this fight with all this like flour and everything. I love that movie. That's like one of my best friend and I, that's our favorite movie. So I'm just going to use one of these rags. And then I just stick it in there. stick the rag in there and get a little bit on there. And then I just rub it. I don't know if you can see what's happening, but it cleans it like pronto schmonto. I don't know why I do that with words. I think my mom does it. I like add more to it than it really needs to be. So look how pretty that is. See, for how easy this is, you would think I'd be able to keep up with my stuff, but nay, that is not the case. And I usually have to do like several batches of this stuff, especially if I'm doing a big piece, like our colander or something, which is really, really big. So this colander, Alan, so here, look at this beautiful colander. Well, it'll be more beautiful when I finish cleaning it. But, so that when we were in San Diego, Alan, we were at an antique store, and I saw that, and I was like, oh my gosh, but I didn't have the money for it at the time. So, I thought, okay, well, when we get paid, I'm going to come back. I'm going to buy that sucker, you know? And I go back there, and it's freaking gone, you guys. I was so bummed. I mean, what a random thing for other people to buy, too. Like, people are so random. I'm dropping this stuff everywhere. Oh, my gosh, it's on the floor. It's a party now. And this was like in October, September or October. And then Christmas comes, and I open this box, and Alan had gone back and bought it for me. Of course, I started bawling. I'm like, oh, I love you so much. Yeah, but he does it. He's like a freaking elephant. He remembers everything, which is good and bad and bad. Don't remember everything, because there's some things I don't want you to remember. There's some things I don't want to remember. You know? See, this is coming clean really, really easy. Well, easy. Sort of. But look at the big difference. It's all shiny on top. And all that is salt and lemon juice. So if you have a lemon tree, if you live somewhere where you have a lemon tree, that's perfect. I don't know if you can go to the ocean and, hey, you know what? Julie, you could go to the ocean and do something. I know you can like get your own salt out of the ocean or something like that. I don't know how to do it. I've never done it, but I know it can be done. So, yeah, and part of this is I need to keep this because it sits on the stove and it gets all nasty, you know. Yeah, so for those of you who came late, I'm going to let you know that, so everything that was Simple Solution Specialist is now going to be under the Smoky Mountain Homestead, so everything is going to be happening here. And on Friday, the Simple Solution Specialist Facebook page will be taken down, and I've already taken down the website. So, but you can go and find everything that was on that website on my blog, which is at WordPress. It's Smoky Mountain Homestead, and it's on WordPress. And it's not all the way totally finished yet. It's a work in progress, just like me. So, yeah, that's it. So while I sit here and do this, my dog is being weird. She's trying to jump up on the chair over there. And she kind of thinks like she doesn't know how to jump. She's kind of weird. No, she is weird. There's no kind of. Yeah, so that is that. And then, what else did I tell you? Yeah, I think that was it. That was the big thing. Yeah, and so everything, like all of my platforms are going to be Smoky Mountain Homestead. So, yeah, I got to clean up after myself. I've got a lot of stuff going on here. All right, we're just a few minutes early done, but yeah. So make sure you go to, if you're watching this on YouTube, make sure that you hit the subscribe button and hit that like button. And if you're not watching it on YouTube, make sure you go to the Smoky Mountain Homestead YouTube channel and hit the subscribe button, because that makes it so that more people can see what we're doing here. And that's it. I'm going to finish this and finish my wine and probably go geek out in front of the television. No, that's not true. Well, yeah, that's probably true. And I got to finish up that. So that is it for tonight, and I think that's it. You guys have an amazing, perfect, super duper day.